in the film, in Ghost in the Shell Innocence, I like the look of the sort of robotic doll-like characters. What inspired that?
There's a famous artist called Hans Bellmer who made very realistic dolls with ball joints, and I got inspired from that. I really love them. They're my favorite. They're very beautiful. But not only beautiful, they're also very scary. I always wondered why they're so scary. But I think it is because of the fact that they appear to be almost too human. A common theme of the two ghosts in the Shell films is, what is it to be human? Can a robot or a cyborg or a doll really feel human?
And did you come up with the answer? What do you think is the answer, the difference between, say, humanity and where it lies?
For me, I would like to think that I've got the answer to that. I think that only humans think of themselves as human. If a human can stop being a human and could become a doll or a dog, at least in our heads, most human problems will disappear. And there won't be any reason for genocide.
Well, I can't claim to understand, but I respect the answer.
Both films feature the adventures of a human cop with computer eyes, whose job is to find out what's going on. Not that this is ever clear. The film's philosophical musings are made all the more opaque by deliberately mistranslated subtitles, meant to mimic the intentional ambiguity of the original Japanese.
ガイノイドたちは自ら故障することによって人間を攻撃する許可を作り出すの。ただしその論理的帰結として倫理コード第3項からも解放される。
人間に危害を加えない条件下において自らの存在を維持せよ。正確には自戒と呼ぶべきだと思うけど。
お望みなら人間と機械の区別を自明のものとしたいならね。
その自殺は特定のモデルに固有の現象？
そうとばかりも言えないわね。ここ数年でロボット関連のトラブルは急増の傾向を示しているの。愛玩用が特にひどいわ。
Do you have any favourite scenes in Ghost in the Shell 2? There are many that I like, many in particular, but I wonder if there are any that you are particularly fond of and why?
やはり映画の真ん中の
My favorite moment has to be where nothing happens, right in the middle of the film, where the main character is in a spaceship looking at the city. That was the scene I wanted to put together the most. It is called the Deriba part of the film. Deriba means the area of time where the drama doesn't develop within the film's storyline. I think action sequences and Deriba, or atmospheric pieces, are the same thing. That is because the main characters get involved in these sequences, even though the drama or storyline is not developing. In Hollywood films, they tend to avoid Deriba. They have too many action sequences in general. And my films, okay, maybe they have too much Deriba. However, they're both very important elements. There are sections where the director wants to show not the drama itself, but the world that the characters inhabit. What I'm trying to show in my films is a world that seems very real and works in real time on a real scale.
But there's more to Oshi than incredible visuals, awesome music and gaping emptiness. There's always one stock character whose significance is surely lost on the casual viewer. You see, when the cop isn't chasing the criminal underground or feral cyborgs, he returns to the tranquil companionship of man's best friend. It's a refuge Oshi has depicted again and again.
Your dog Gabriel, I think, is present in your films in a very clear way. Why do you always have a basset hound in your recent films?
You know, there are few film directors who appear in their own films, like Hitchcock. I don't personally appear in my own films as an actor or anything. But the reason for putting my dog in the films is because I want to put myself in the films. I don't have a role or anything. I don't play any part in the storyline. I just hang around the main character. So the dog is me.
Oshi's only live-action film is Avalon, filmed in Poland and with Oshi's typical linguistic eccentricity in Polish. In Avalon, a glamorous computer gamer named Ash shoots to virtual infamy by eliminating the best of the boys and their machines. But when she's not plugging her brain into the mainframe, she relaxes at home with person's best friend. On the final level, in a glorious world of colour, Mr. Big poses the ultimate question.
Jedno z nas musi zginąć. Ten, co przeżyje stratki, czy ciało zniknęło. Takie są reguły gry.
In Avalon, I was right, because when Ash makes the jump from the game world to the real world, before she does, her dog disappears. What happened to the dog? Who looks after the dog?
Ash's dog can only be seen by her. It might be the case that the dog never existed from the beginning. Therefore, it is not a case of a dog disappearing, but that she no longer needs the dog.
So the dog is kind of her link to humanity. Okay, last thing. Now, although it is not something I would ever wear myself, I have been admiring your T-shirt.
All in all, Japanese cinema, be it anime or live action, from established heavyweights or new voices, still looks distinctively Japanese to me. From horror films to popcorn movies, they've all got a little something extra going on. And if the latest crop of Japanese filmmakers hasn't spat up a new Kurosawa, well, name me a recent English writer as good as Shakespeare. I've nothing but great hopes for the future. That's because Japan itself, reflecting the ongoing tension between technology and tradition, is just as exciting, visually arresting and inspiring as ever. So, if the established masters have to carry the weight for a while, I can't think of another country that can boast a crew of old boys so vibrant and consistently stimulating. After all, the omnipresent beat Takashi is still a force of nature. The great Miyazaki goes from strength to strength. Takashi Miike continues to be, if anything, too prolific as he explores the far reaches of human nature. And at the other extreme, Katsuhiro Otomo continues to drip-feed his anime gems to an adoring public. So if only the younger guys can curb their enthusiasm for CGI and find the emotional content or ghost in the shell, then I'm pretty sure that once again the world will realise that the cinematic sun here isn't low in the sky, but remains firmly at high noon. Oyasumi nasai. Good night.
And next week, Jonathan's in Hong Kong for Asian Invasion, next Tuesday at 10. Stay with BBC 4 Tonight as Jonathan Meades peels back the layers of Russian architecture to discover that Brand Stalin is alive and well and living happily in Russia. That's next.